Champions, welcome. The squares have aligned and bingo is nigh. It's time for the Elden Squares Season 3 Crucible. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, we have a man who has battled his way through the toughest rookie rumble ever. A man who has no desire stronger than to be the best bingo player he can, none other than Tony the Fallen Knight. And his teammate, a player who was forged in the fires of a crucible, an experienced bingo player looking to deliver the goods for his team, none other than Fitz. And their opponents, fighting out of the blue corner, we have a player who has not only supreme base game experience from that same rookie rumble, but has dedicated himself to the DLC streets. None other than Mesmer's lover, Ja. And his teammate, a student of the bingo game. The blade that cuts through bingo lines. The brightest mind in the crucible, none other than the dagger of the South. Now let's get ready to run that board and square off.
Let's go.
All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. And here we go. Center square.
Round Table Knight Vike.
Melania. That's just gonna always be my pick when I don't know what to think. Loger and Magnus the Beast Claw. So it is still NPCs, but okay. no Round Table Knight Vike there.
Melania is on the board.
Melania is on the board. We'll take a look at some of the bigger kill squares that I get excited about, and then Jay will tell you about all the intricacies here. We see Melania, Goddess of Rot, Remembrance Boss, Daggers, Fists only. Daggers in the name, right? So, but that could be a really early kill done on like Godric or something. Yes. Maybe you do that for DLC access, because I can already see this is a bit of a weaker DLC board. That one could be done earlier. Godskin Apostle in Caelid is not to be trifled with. Had one of the highest KDs of any boss last season in the Golden Order. Dragon Lord plus Citisax, a tanky bastard, but yeah, I could very well see the game coming down to Classy. But we have other big dragons or worms on the board, as we have the Magma Worm and Theodorix there on that middle row. Obviously Loger and Magnus the Beast Claw, so that is important because not only do you need DLC, but you also need Altus. That was pivotal in the last game, pivotal in the last game. And then continuing to look here, we see this is where in the bottom half of the board is where most of the DLC squares are. We have the Furnace Golem, Demi-Human Swordmaster, and that big Romina kill. Also a reason to kill maybe Hippo, to go to Romina with a Wolf Lion Hippo Bear into Romina, but I'll hand it over to Jay as he gives us a complete rundown here.
So I see a couple of some squares that a lot of players usually try to go for first when they're on the board. Some of those shout outs are Asher War Lightning Ram, especially because you get the Grace right before, right after the fake Margit there. I do see that it is a pretty light DLC board with O-Seeker, Magnus, Sword of Light, Furnace Golem, Demi-Human Swordsmaster, Romina, and then usually the four bosses with Wolf Lion, Hippo Bear, and the Crucible Talismans. They don't have to be done in DLC, but there is a couple of things that I'd like to mention though with this is to recognize some lines, and I see three lines that could be dangerous. Could be. They are the bottom left to top right diagonal, especially if it's a DLC rush and then going back to Virgins. Another one that I see that could be done pretty quickly, and in my opinion, the most threatening, is that row 4 Who's. 5 NPC invaders very quickly. As soon as you get to Altus, very quickly from Craftsman Shack to get the Altus Mount Gilmere Hero's Grave or the Red Wolf. And then with the the rest of those squares in the DLC, killing ADM, then getting the Swords Master, who is not the boss. Furnace Golem, sure, can be a little bit of a son of a bitch, but and then I also see an Old Lord's Talisman could be an early square too. That's just kind of my quick rundown. Makar is a good way into Altis in this board, I think, with it being on the board, but it doesn't have any precipice or tunnels. But we'll see what the players do.
Yeah, Makar's super viable in this format.
I agree.
I actually think Makar is more viable in this format than in base game Bingo, because of the smithing stones you get. That's just my personal take. I know Cronies has used it to great effect. But yeah, I'd be really interested. Also, I want to give a little shout out here to A, Bingo Ballers for incorporating this, and B, Sci-Fi for helping all the players set it up. They have this little nice thing where we're not going to use it on the main broadcast because it kind of makes it look ugly, but the players they've changed the color automatically changes for squares that require DLC. So we can see here, I'll just star them so you guys can see it quickly on the broadcast. These are all the squares that necessitate DLC here. So need to be careful, like these top two rows do not necessitate DLC at all, right? So if the potential for like 2v1 base game and getting these bingos here on the top row, column 1, we'll see, but players are underway now. Let's see what they decide to do. And we do see Josh going with the fist weapon, Dryleaf Arts, looking like he's probably going to go straight Margaret Godric Dryleaf Arts and run that to get the Dagger's Fist only kill.
Yep, and you shouted that out really good in the beginning, because that is a good way. And it's really, when we've played this format, it really doesn't have to be the DLC player who does it. So whoever you think is faster, who wants the better weapon, it depends on, like, let's say I was the DLC Rush player and there was Great Omen Killer Cleaver or something, Rambler would probably, push that square. So but we'll see here. We got a little bit of variety of weapons I see on this board. Who's on these players?
Yeah, we have actually all 4 with different weapons.
Yeah.
The Golden Halberd there from Tony, the Ringed Finger from Dagger, and then Fitz. Actually, that is a dagger as well. So they're going to be racing the Dagger's Fist only. That is the Fire Knight Short Sword, which even though Short Sword is in the name, that is a dagger. This will be a very heated race here between Tony and Josh for Remembrance Boss Dagger's Fist only. So let's go ahead and go.
What do you think you're on the weapon? Like, what's the better of the two?
I think it depends how good you are at using Palm Blast. If you're really if you're really good at using Palm Blast, the Dryleaf Arts are really good, but you need to use if you don't use Palm Blast effectively, they are bad. Like it depends on how effective you are at using Palm Blast. Okay. Also, Josh has the weirdest FOV on. What the hell is this?
It is an odd FOV, it's true. Bingus it is, Jam. Bingus it is, and you have come into a good time. This is what we believe is a Killer Remembrance Boss Daggers or Fists only in that column 1, row 1 between Josh and Dagger. Or excuse me,
Josh and Tony.
Dagger, listen to me. Josh and Tony.
Yeah, that FOV from Josh does kind of like, it's weird because I've never seen it before, but it's like very cinematic. And actually, Dagger's rushing too. Dagger, I think the reason why Dagger went with the Ring Fingers because he wants the stance damage because that and an immediately wieldable weapon because Dagger's going straight for the Sleeping Golem Landau.
The Sleeping Golem. Okay. We got a Bingus hands on our board. We have, while they're fighting this out, we do have Fitz. He is running toward Liurnia, or he's in Liurnia, excuse me. He's doing balloon route right now, probably going to get to EG, progress on his way towards Altis.
Yeah, because Fitz is really the only player here with a long-term viable weapon, right? Tony and Josh both going with the dagger and the fist in order to get the Dagger's Fist only square, of course. But Dagger, that Ring Finger is solid, but not what you want to be using long-term. But Fitz has Golden Halberd. We saw it do work for Jurors last game. As Josh goes down right at the end, I gotta say this damage is pretty putrid for both of these players.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I do worry about the Fire Knight's short sword because Godric, when he goes into phase 2, does actually gain quite a bit of fire resistance. You know, I think
you're right.
in hindsight,
Yes.
it might have been worth it because these weapons are so bad. Might have been worth it to grab the 3-1s in Stormhill and upgrade to +3 before doing this. Like, you would never see it in base game singles because you don't have roundtable access, right? But considering the fact that you do have roundtable access, because then you can get other smithing ones elsewhere, right? You can go to Weeping Merchant. I'm sure there's a way to get them in Stormvale, right? As Tony does a really nice job on Margit there. There's a very low damage kill, but let's go zoom in with the cinematic view of the Margit fight for Josh.
Yes, and we have the first square of the game done, 4 minutes and 38. Dagger with the Sleeping Golem in Lindell. Very good. I wonder if he also did that square in hopes of essentially 2 reasons. He was hoping Josh is going to get the Remembrance, and he did it in a way of, hey, if I lose it, we have a block on column 1.
Yeah.
There are some quick squares on this board who's as Josh does. Margit is like, you know, 3 Revenants. You really have some options. You know, the 2 in Elemer Castle, obviously the boss, the 1 in Lascar Ruins. There is one right at the bottom of beginning of the Putrid Crystallian Trio Cave. Josh goes down again to Margit.
Yeah, Josh, I think Josh has to pivot out because
Agreed.
Because at this point, if you're racing it, you've lost. And he does pivot out.
Yes,
really, really smart pivot. I want to flowers to players who recognize when to pivot, right? Like that is such a hard yet important skill to know, like, hey, you know, because it's frustrating too, because I know how well practiced these players are, and all of them go into this like fully believing they can do it, right? But you know, whether it's jitters or whatever, because official match, like sometimes you do shit in practice and then you just can't do it the same, right? Fingers don't work the same. But yeah, credit to Josh just taking the little pivot out there.
Yep. Dagger going for the great axe check where the whole damn wagon disappeared during that. Good
and he
night.
got Gargoyle's great axe, which is a fine weapon, not amazing, but
yeah, it's okay.
It's an improvement for sure.
Agreed. I agree with that for sure.
We also did see greatsword check. It was Milady.
Okay. Fitz going Makar. I like it.
I like the Makar play a lot. The only thing I don't like about the Makar play, granted, obviously it's weapon rando. You got to deal with what you have. I prefer Makar play for smithing weapon players because obviously you get your stones there, but you know, it just wasn't a reality. It just wasn't possible on the board because, well, you know, you get what you're given, right? We'll go full screen with Tony here though, as he goes for Godric Dagger's Fist only.
Yep, and a square on that diagonal. So we'll see what we got here.
Yeah, really weak weapon seed so far. Outside of that golden halberd, I didn't see if that golden halberd was starting class or round table, but like we've seen Gargoyle's great axe, which is fine. We saw Smith script axe, which is terrible from axe check. Hand axe, death ritual spear. I know has some like niche tech you can do in the game, but it's not there. There was Bloodfiend's arm. Like I unironically, Bloodfiend's arm is obviously very good, but normally not favored because of how hard it is to get online. But in this situation, I would consider sending Bloodfiend's arm.
Yeah, me too. And with the talismans in Bernie Bingo, it can help.
Yeah, like maybe for, you know, especially for Tony, right? Like you get the kill on Godric, especially with the remembrance. That's 40k, right? That should be enough, or at least close to enough to get Bloodfiend's arm online. Because yeah, Bloodfiend's arm is a fantastic fantastic weapon. I mean, at one point before an actual speedrunner beat my ass, I set the all bosses world record with that weapon.
Okay. Yep.
Then I saw a speedrunner script Bale with Death's Poker, and I said, nah, I'm good. I'm never getting this record back.
So we got Fitz still progressing through Precipice up to Makar. Josh doing some balloon route again. I do have to commend him. Great pivot. It sucks because you just want to bash your head into it and get it, but you just can't.
Yeah.
And I like it because he's gonna say like, why do it now? Like I'm gonna kill Godric anyway for DLC if he does the normal routing, or not normal, but the speed routing, if you will. So I do like it. Where's Dagger going here? What am I just tuned in? I know where he is. But...
Dagger is gonna do axe check, I believe. Or
yes. Okay.
Yeah, because he's looking for a weapon, like a better weapon. What is the Scarab? I've never seen this Scarab killed before. What is it? Somber 2. Okay. Didn't know there was a Somber 2 Scarab right there. Actually surprised I've never seen that before. What?
And Dagger's nickname coming through.
Yeah, what? How have I never seen that before? That's really good, actually. Somber 2 Scarab right before the EG tele. How was that missed? After all these years. That's like good.
Yeah, most get it in that Liurnia Highway north past Halberd check.
Yeah, but if you that's faster, and obviously I guess you want Halberd check, but that's really heads up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I remember Vakross showing us that lemon for sure. And Tony doing just a fantastic job. Please no curse on this. Like, he's really like he's locked in.
I didn't want to say it because hopefully you don't have the same powers I do. I've been thinking about saying it, but deciding not to.
He's just playing very well.
And Josh is going back in for Margit here.
Stagger. I'm excited to see this Makar kill. What's Makar drop again? Runes wise?
25 around there. I'm really bad with. I know the range. I'm really bad with specific numbers.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. We're gonna get Horfrost Stomp here by Dagger, which I can't blame him because in case he gets something, he wants it, right?
And Tony with a beautiful Margit into Godric kill.
Great job.
Fire Knight short sword. Great job, and one hell of a way for him to start off the season, right?
I could not agree more.
I expect
Fitz man.
Or I expect, sorry, not Fitz. Josh here to potentially immediately pivot off of Margit here after seeing the mark.
Yep. Great job.
Yeah, I think honestly,
very patient.
And actually, Tony's gonna check Remembrance. Do we have Remrem on the board, or is he just looking for a weapon potentially?
I think he's looking for a weapon.
Yeah,
we do have Remrem. We do have Remrem.
Oh yeah, we do. Dude, if you get like E-Blade or something, like you could just run that.
Crap. Can you imagine?
Terrible. Like ass. Hand of Melania is not usable. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Ace, and we were talking about that. It's the TikTok, as Sai said, I steal that from Sai. It's the TikTok lens.
Yeah, and Josh is going to finish out this fight, so we'll just go with him. All right. But yeah, good news is for Josh, he doesn't have to worry about Remrem, because those were terrible. Like Hand of Melania is not a bad weapon per se, but like the stats, it's just not doable. You need almost 50 dex.
Yep.
But we'll see Fitz here going for Makar.
And we see Dagger as Fitz is doing Makar. We see Dagger running through the precipice too, and I don't hate this because Theo is a son of a bitch. So you might as well get into Altis with this, and if your opponent wants to rush Theo right away, I mean, go for it. Which the Octopus tech is hereby gone. Who's?
Yes. So if anyone doesn't know, yeah, so I'll explain this. If anyone doesn't know, Zimmer Cursor, and also a very nice fight by Fitz there on Makar. But if anyone doesn't know, Magmorn Theodorix is in Consecrated Snowfield. And there are some octopuses there. If you've seen base game, if you played the game and fought them before, you probably have randomly had octopuses invade you while you fight. Long story short, those octopuses introduce just an unhealthy level of RNG with the fight, because not only can you use tech that's somewhat inconsistent to kill him without a weapon even, but they can also interrupt the fight. They are just unhealthy for the game. So in order to preserve the integrity of the sport, we made the decision to remove those enemies. It's not a decision that we like to make. We try to, alter the game as little. Well, yes. Obviously we've altered progression a lot, but we try to alter, the game in terms of like weapon drops or enemy placements and stuff as little as possible. But in that case, it was unanimous by the players and absolutely necessary to remove those octopi.
Mm-hmm. And Fitz is in Altus. So he's halfway to that square, has a lot of graces open up, has an ability to get some Somber 7, 8, and 9 up there in Snowfield, Mountaintop. So he's opened himself up. Tony going through Balloon route here. My pure assumption is he's just going to get a little bit more money, and he is going to assumably kill Renala.
Yeah, I think he might just run Milady here with the multi-hit talisman that you can get from the shop, as well as impaling thrust. I think it can get impaling. It can take impaling thrust, right? I'm almost positive. I think it's pretty decent, right? It's not an ideal weapon, but solid.
And if he can get into DLC, it might be out of the way, and I get it, but man, it works really well with Wing Stance and Rolana's cameo. But most players aren't going to go out of their way for just those two things. So Tony is progressing through.
Yep, maybe gonna get Hoarfrost Stomp here.
Okay.
As Josh is just getting Dectus online.
Yep. Okay. So we're not seeing a rush here, which I kind of like. This is a board where I would be like okay with it. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 squares in the DLC. 2 of them I understand can be done in base, and those 2 are 2 Crucible Talismans and the 4 bosses with the lion, wolf, bear, hippo. 2 of the other 6 Who's require Altus. Romina, it requires portion of back section or killing hippo.
Yep, and actually,
I don't hate the Altus play here.
Yeah, and it looks like Dagger is also going Makar. Meanwhile, we see Fitz there. There's Spirit Spring added. It was initially added because you used to have to pick up all your sacred tiers. It made that a lot easier, but it's kind of stayed in the mod. And it makes lightning, it alternate path to lightning ram. So he goes ahead and gets the Asheville lightning ram there.
Yep. This is good. It's a good square. Progresses. It does progress Corruptions row 1. Godskin Apostle in Kaled is not free by any stretch of the imagination. Also, the poise on this weapon, the dagger, I know it's been there, but my god.
Yeah, hammers are great. Like hammers are a weapon type that you don't see as much in the Golden Order. Like talking about base game singles, right?
Right.
You don't see them as much in Golden Order because the actual damage that they do just isn't as good as other weapon classes. But they're a weapon that I highly recommend, particularly to newer players, because they do a massive amount of poise damage. And even though the fights are a little bit longer, they are also made easier. I'd say easier right as Dagger dies on me. That got caught in the soup. But dude, I hate that. I can't. I can just curse players without trying, man. But yeah, generally recommend them to. Obviously, Dagger not a newer player, but generally is a recommended weapon.
So Tony going into Academy, which I mean, for sure. Josh in Academy. We'll see what we have here. Back to Makar here for Dagger. I think we'll be good here, getting this down here. And we are gonna. Who wants? I'll take the counting who's if you're okay. If you're good with it.
Sure.
Because we're about to get a ram action here.
Gotta count those sheep.
And we got one. You might be a little bit ahead of me, so.
I'm locked in on the fights. I'm sure.
Right, I got one already.
Yeah. All right, Josh is walking into. We'll just go 4-player big screen. We gotta count some sheep. Everyone loves a sheep.
We got 6.
We got Makar and we got the good doggo.
7. And we got some action going on. So as who said last game, usually the first 20 to 30 can be a little slower, and then we really start picking up. So unless you obviously do a full rush DLC, you fight 4 bosses pretty quick. Fitz needs one more on my screen, and there it is. Yep, a couple seconds behind on mine, but he gets it. That is 10.
Nicely done by Fitz. Dagger gets on Makar, so we'll go full screen with Josh here for Red Wolf. Josh gets it down.
You did mention it, but
now Tony's going to be entering Red Wolf as well.
All right, we're gonna see also how Rick's fist combats that row 1. Melania, obviously. No, you need experience to fight. Godskin Apostle isn't just an apostle. There's plenty of them in the game, but he does hit like a truck. But 6 bosses with tree in their name. You really want synergy with that. And on this board, I don't see much synergy other than the 6 bosses with Limgrave Weeping. And it's just lengthy, right? You just got to put time into that square.
As Tony gets that down as well. Yeah,
that's
so
very good. I think we got
Tony and Fitz not only have an early board lead, but they're I know we said they were less proven, but they've both been playing really well in this early game, right?
Yes.
Like you don't, due to this format, the way the format works, you don't always see the squares marked early, right? But they're because you kind of need to snowball into your squares a bit in this format, and they're looking really good. Like they're crafting a very nice snowball that is preparing to roll down the hill and roll down the bingo board.
Yes. No, I think you're absolutely right. We have Tony here, who is going to go into Renala after getting past Moongrum, which will be Tony's DLC access. Josh running to Fort Height for the other half of Dectus, which I don't hate. He will be behind in the DLC, but he'll have Altus, and there are 2 squares in that row 3. And if Dagger and Josh happen to be looking at that, because if you look at this, I want to say this before we get into the Renala fight, we have Dagger has Makar killed, we have Josh going for Altus, and we have Dagger going for Scorpion. Are they looking at a possible row 3?
Maybe. Could be a row 3. Also want to highlight here, as fortunately he goes down, but this is going for the Altus Hero's Grave, which also is a Red Wolf boss, so, potentially progress till the Wolf, Lion, Bear, Hippo in the same line in column 4.
Yeah, you got 2 Red Wolves, you got the Rune Bear, and then who would be your 4th pick in the base game for that square?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who would be my fourth one.
Is there a fourth one in base game? I kind of just took your word for it, I'll be honest. I don't think you can do that without DLC. Can you? Wolf, 2 red wolves. There's no lion boss in base game.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No hippo. Yeah, you have to have DLC. You have to have DLC.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, okay. So you do. Okay, you do. I apologize then. Okay. I think I got caught up with the whole it's not blue on some of these players' screen. But yeah, you do need to have DLC. Yes. Thank you, cronies.
Fitz is having some issues there with the chariots. Tony is in on Renala. Not every day you see Milady versus Renala. Yes. He's actually doing quite well, except he accidentally broke her. He accidentally frosted her out of the stagger, so couldn't claim the riposte. But I love the feel of this weapon. It tends to be outclassed compared to other weapons. But on Renala, it really just does a nice job of micro staggering her. You're able to actually get off your combos nicely.
And there goes Dagger's knowledge again. It might not be game changing, but I still want to point it out. Dagger grabs the Scorpion Charge with Anastasia and does the Ash of War Claw Flick, which just kind of it trivialized her in that, and it's just good knowledge.
Yeah, Dagger really is showing off kind of his bingo knowledge here today.
Yeah,
as we expected.
Good roll there by the troll from Tony. Coming down.
He just needs to just read this. Nicely done there by Tony.
Yeah,
very nicely done.
I actually learned in this format, who's after all the times I've done Renala, playing games, Golden Order games, Crucible games, whatever, where the Renala Force summons, and that's Tony's DLC access, by the way. I had no idea until this format that every time Renala summons Troll, she'll like vanish away.
And Dagger
it took me this format to realize that.
Dagger potentially looking at some Limgrave Weaving bosses, just spamming Clawpick on Bofa. Meanwhile, Fitz here is about to enter not the Red Wolf of Radagon, but the Red Wolf of the Champion. And Tony's going to do one more check at Roundtable for another remembrance to go through another set of dialogue because he just picked up another Great Rune. And Blasphemous Blade.
Okay. Interesting. Well, Blasphemous Blade, huh? Which I believe takes Faith, right?
Yeah, but Faith here, easy grab and Weeping with the unlock graces, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And actually, we will go to the dual screen here as we have Josh in on Godric once again.
Nice. And Dagger is looking.
Oh my God, Fitz just survives on one.
I think Dagger here, what he's doing while you're on the dual screen, I think Dagger is doing like what I said earlier about trying to synergize this bosses in Limgrave with trees. So I expect him to do the Weeping Erdtree avatar up above the Cemetery Shade Catacomb.
Yep, I think that in Fitz goes down there, but that's honestly he lost a bunch of flasks having to run to the lava. That's potentially a spot to take an intentional death because this Red Wolf is much higher scaled than Red Wolf of the Red Wolf you're used to.
Right. Dude, and I've missed it. Have you or anybody in chat seen? Has Josh upgraded these?
He did.
Danes?
I think they're +3, maybe more. They're definitely at least somewhat upgraded.
Okay. Definitely missed that. So Dagger has Bofa, and he has Tree sent down. He is going for the Erdtree Watchdog. This is great. This is both squares. Not a mark, but like tree boss and boss.
Yeah. Yep.
For anybody who might be like, what do you mean?
And Josh gets the Goddard down very nicely done. We'll go full with Fitz here as he goes to finish Red Wolf for the champion. This will give him the Hero's Grave, bringing Team Corruption up to a 3-2 lead. And there it is. There is that 3-2 lead.
Very nice. Very nice.
3 boss is turning out to be a really nice square potentially for the Rickfisters, as it would block both any ideas of the column 2 as well as that row 1.
Yep. Yep. And Dagger is going to take, I mean, it's not a lot of money at all, right? It's not game-changing money, but he is going to take these boss kills for a little bit of money to probably boost some vigor to, he's probably going to eventually go Makar. I really think that they might be eyeing up this row 3. Because what I think we might see is a DLC entrance from Josh into gaining Altus or vice versa.
Mm-hmm. And Tony's actually, even though like Tony has DLC access, but he's not prioritizing it. He's actually going straight for Rem, I think. Which makes sense to me. Maybe I would consider just snagging like Logar and Magnus, or not Logar and Magnus,
right?
Like Secret Knight and Black Knife set, right? Maybe Logar and Magnus, right? But instead, I think this is a perfectly good other option, right? With the just going for the Rem, right?
Yeah, he would have
especially because
what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I was thinking Radon. No, duh. He needs Altus.
He needs Altus. Yeah, I mean, he could do Virgins, but yeah, he'll need Altus for either of those 2 squares. I also noticed that both Tony and Josh picked up that Stone Sword key right there in Academy, and I like it. I don't, especially if you do the Crucible Talons with the Cumbug duo. If you get Altus right after Virgins, you get the Grace essentially right outside it. And then you get the one at Stormhill Shack. Granted, Round Table sells 3, but...
And Fitz here is looking to upgrade his weapon to +9 in checking his stats, maybe thinking about going for Theo right away. It would not be easy by any means, but if he does get it, not only would that be a very nice square for them, blocking that row 3 that you've been talking about for the Rickfisters, but also it would just give him so much juice. Like he'd be able to level his health a ton. And do a lot of damage there.
Yep. So if my math is right, this will be Dagger's 4th Limgrave Weeping boss and his 3rd boss with Tree in the name. He has killed Bofa, Treescent in Limgrave, the Erdtree Avatar, and the Erdtree Watchdog.
Yes.
I believe that is 3 and 4.
Yep, and thank you to Dagger. He's doing a very nice job of using the counting tool on the board. I know not all the players use it, but he uses it, and we on commentary appreciate it when the players do use it. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. It's, you know, whatever you need to win the game, but I sure as hell appreciate it.
Josh there gets hit by the chandelier. I have been hit by that more times than I'd like to admit. I think this will be a minimum 2 cycle with this weapon, right?
Yeah.
Unless Palm Blast can really...
Palm Blast bangs. Yeah, see, there you go, Palm Blast. It's so good. Yep. It's what I mentioned earlier. Like that weapon, if you use Palm Blast super effectively, is solid for like an early game rush. Like I remember back last season, I don't know if ever got done, but like Palm Blast Tree Sentinel was very viable. It wasn't going to be like Starfist or anything, but it was very viable. Yeah, it's just you really need to know how use Palm Blast.
Yeah, especially with Renala, you know, backstepping away, or if you will, whatever you want to call that little step she does.
It just does so much damage. And a lot of poise damage too, which is great for the bosses.
Yep. Here comes the fire. Okay, avoided that.
Oh,
this gets a slam down from the dragon.
Yeah, and gets a stagger shortly after, but can't take the riposte due to the magic shards going everywhere. And Fitz is going for Theo. The second this fight gets ended, we're gonna have to check in with Fitz for Theo.
What a palm blast! Yes, I agree, and he's in it. Chat, buckle up. We got a Theo. At the end of the day, it's just a magma
Josh
worm.
might be in trouble here. He has less than half health, no flasks. Wolf's chasing after him. Fitz goes down. Honestly, kind of good for broadcast because we need to stay up.
Holy moly!
At the end. I blame Lemon for the curse. The Josh is moving on Ranola from the chat, immediately followed by the Josh is not schmoving.
All right. Lemon, as a punishment for you, you and I must play a 2v2 later today. You and me, you on my team. That's your punishment.
All right, we'll go back in with Fitz here as he goes for Theo again. No Octopi Theo.
Dagger going to market.
Yep. And I think this is his final boss. This is either his last.
Who did he kill after the...
Fitz, you can't...
Who did he...
He killed the Geel. He had 4 and then killed the Geel.
I missed the Agil with the Renala mess. Okay, so then yes, this will be the last Limgrave, but he still needs 3 in tree.
Yes.
I literally missed the Agil because I was so focused on that Renala.
And there comes the mark for Dagger. And Tony is now in Altus.
This is a good time to shout out thank you refs, because if I had to ref this while being commentating, I would be terrible at it because I get so sucked into peak fight moments. So thank you.
Yeah, it's very hard, right? There's so much going on.
So I gotta mention, this is okay, like this format is tough, but it's so cool. Look at this particular game. Tony gets DLC, leaves it. Now he's got DLC and Altus before Josh has DLC.
Yeah, Tony's been
now granted,
like Tony, only 1 square on the board for Tony so far, but he's been playing at an elite level here today so far. Like you're not gonna see it yet because he's just been setting himself up, but he's playing so well to start. I mean, obviously, it doesn't matter until you actually get the squares on the board. You need to close it out, but he's in position to do Rem. He's in position to do DLC squares. He's in position to do the base plus DLC squares. Like he is just ready to dominate this board here.
He is who's, and it's not even that Josh did anything like wrong. Josh is also doing good in like prioritization. He also got some deck dis. He's progressed a little bit towards Altus, but a part that slowed him down was that death. The death during it's 2 deaths, right, to Margit during the Dagger Fist?
Yeah, the early Dagger Fist, Margit death. I mean, obviously the Renala at the end is super unfortunate and just cost him so much time. And that's, another reason though why, like, especially on this board, you could make the argument that obviously Dagger's Fist Rush was different, but like maybe you should just prioritize Altus first before going for Renala or something, particularly with this weapon, right?
Sure.
Because I guarantee you, if he had anything other than +0 flask, he would not have died. Renala.
Oh yeah.
Like he just ran out of heals because he has an adequate red bar, but like you can still get chipped down over time if you can't replenish it, because it will take like 4 flasks to fill his full bar. Yeah, he just had to drink 3 times to fill 60% of his flask.
Yep. And we've made so many good strides in this format, as you see Tony going for Radon here. We see I'm assuming the Radon play is so he can also be in position to do larval tears because he has DLC access.
Yeah.
We've made so many good strides. I remember when I was first playing this format a long time ago, who's way before we did like the veil break on your stream, which was the 2v2 where we made changes. We got into DLC, and my first square in DLC, I was fighting Rolana, and there goes Renala down. Good job, Josh.
Very nicely done by Josh
that's his DLC
there.
access. I got hit once by Rolana at, I don't know, I was like 40 Vig or something, a Vig that I do regularly in this format with Rolana, and I used like 5 flasks to get up to full health. So we've come so far, and I, incredibly honored to be,
I mean, this format
this
has so exceeded our wildest expectations. Like, for anyone who doesn't know, we initially expected this format to be like, we were always going to do this, but before we really started cooking on it, my initial idea was like, we'll just do like a fun little season, right? Like, not that serious. Yeah. Like, obviously every season's serious, but like, not nearly as serious as like last season, right? And the format's been so good, it's completely 180'd, right? This is a highly competitive cracked format, and we have Radon on screen here for Tony as he's looking to do Rem, as well as the fact that
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, and Fitz actually heads up play using the Gelmir Grace, going for Inquisitor Giza as one of his...
For an NPC invader?
Yeah.
This is so cool, man. Look at this. NPC invader. We got Tony going for Radon Rem, which means he can't summon the boys. It'll set him up for a possible larval tier. Josh advancing toward Altus when he has DLC access because he sees the row 3, which they might be looking at, they being Dagger and Josh. Like, I'm on cloud 9 right now. This is some
and
awesome,
Dagger's also going
plays.
for Radon, like, because one of the things here, the only thing for Tony is like, he's so set up for everything, but you can't be everywhere at once, right?
I agree.
Radon's important enough that Dagger's just going for it anyways, right?
Yes, sir.
Even without the Rem.
This is so awesome.
So we're gonna have double Radon here on the screen, as we'll have Tony and Dagger. Tony about to enter phase 2. Dagger entering the start of the fight.
Fits with two invaders down. We obviously know that Dagger has 1 invader down because of Anastasia.
And Josh, by the way, now has somewhat caught up to Tony, as he has both Altus and DLC.
Yep. See what I mean? We got it. We're in. And I think we see Josh starting to do some DLC squares here. I believe that. I don't know how he's going to prioritize. He's got a lot of options. He's got Loger Magnus. He's got Oathseeker Black Knife if he wants. He could progress towards Sword of Light of Darkness and Crucible Talismans. I think we see a DLC move here in some fashion.
One thing I'm realizing that's funny watching Tony, the players have kind of figured out a bit how to maybe manipulate and abuse the gifts we give them. Tony has plus 10 flasks for Radon right now. Obviously a very small red bar, but
right.
Plus 10 flasks. Oh, this is a very tricky attack here for Tony. I like the horse tack. Very nicely done. Torrent got hit, but we don't care. One more hit for Tony. Plays the heal instead, and then gets the last hit. And Dagger actually moved with that Demora Curve Sword. I was watching Tony. Dagger finished the entire fight in the same amount of time that it took Tony to do phase 2. Wow, great job. I wasn't paying attention, but great job by Dagger.
Great job, both players. Awesome job. Awesome job. So we could see a Loger Magnus play from here for Josh, possibly.
I worry about those fists though on Loger. Is he still rock? He's just using the fists.
I mean, that's a great point.
Tony's doing a heads up move, going ahead and buying his talismans. We do have a talisman shop from Bernie Bingo. If you're used to watching DLC Bingo, it is not as overpowered as the DLC Bingo one. obviously still really nice.
Correct.
You have defensive talismans, some of the stat boosting talismans, Crimson Seed. You have the multi-hit talisman because that's like you can't get Ritual Sword or Rotten Wing. Not all the crazy buffs though, but some nice power gain, and really heads up by Tony there. And I think he's just I actually am excited to see this. Tony's just gonna run B-Blade.
Yep. And we have, so anybody watching, yes, there are only 7 squares, Mark, but there is a lot of progress that has happened here.
Yeah.
Both your DLC players on the top of your screen, on who's your screen right now, both have Altus and DLC access.
And Dagger's actually, I think Dagger's gonna, okay, he needs to +9 first, but he's gonna go for Theo, and Zamor's is gonna rip Theo in half. The Zamor Ice Storm is really good on big bosses, right? So think Lassie, Theo, Bale if he didn't move so much, right? Like these gigantic bosses just get destroyed by the Zamor Ice Storm. I really hope we get to see Dagger do this on Theo, because I think it's gonna be beautiful.
I agree. And does he have fingers? Josh, I didn't see him pick up fingers, but
He does.
missed that.
He probably, I think he bought them at the merchant.
Okay, fair enough. I just obviously clearly missed it when he was going to get Fort Faroth Dectus, or excuse me, Fort Height Dectus. Okay, this is a good play for Josh. This is a good play for Dagger. It blocks that column 3. It progresses their row 3. Okina is a hop, skip, and a jump for either team in this aspect. I'm liking this. I'm actually on the edge of my seat.
And it's looking like Tony here is prioritizing the O-Seeker and Black Knife set. Unless, oh my God, no way he does Melania, right?
No, he's got to get this.
Okay, yeah. He's getting the Black Knife set. He hopped up for a second. I was like,
okay.
No, he is setting up Melania. He is going to set up Melania at the very least.
Good. That's how I would do it. I would get this set. I would go through the portal, grab the Grace.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, the way to access Melania, you don't have to do the Ordina puzzle. It's automatically done for you. And then when you grab the first Grace in Haligtree, you unlock an additional Grace closer past Loretta. So you don't have to do Loretta to get to Melania, but it's not the Roots Grace. You still have to do a little bit of a running section. As Fitz there gets the NPC Invader Square, it moves to 5-4.
Yep, very, very, very nice. And we'll see
and
a Grace
Royal
here
Revenants, right? Royal Revenants for Tony.
Yep, that's good shout there. Good shout there, J-Man, for sure. We should see a DLC move here by Tony, and we do. So Tony's going to be able to block the row 3, which is nice. So there shuts down the bingo that I mentioned, 20 minutes ago or more, that they may have been looking at, Dagger and Josh. And who knows, maybe they weren't looking at it at all, because as we see, Dagger is going towards Okina. So maybe they were actually looking for it. But you're right on this Loger Fist. Holy moly, who's on this Fist against Loger.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was some dwarf in chat basically said that apparently these weapons were pretty good in early invasions after the DLC. Palm Blast was ripping, but problem is he doesn't have, like, he's just getting chipped. Like he's doing good damage, but Loger hits so hard and he's getting chipped down, right? Like it's a war of attrition between these two.
This was the first enemy that I found in my blind first playthrough of DLC, and I nearly put the game down.
Oh, I died to the Curse Blade at the start immediately. I walked in the DLC. I was like, I was streaming it, so I was like, wow, chat, look at how pretty this is. Blah, 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 blah. Curse Blade dead.
Oh my God, this guy shredded me. So when I came over here, the bird screamed. and Josh goes down.
Yeah,
The bird
he
scream.
does good damage, but it's just he's losing a war of it's a war of attrition that he's losing. And oh my god, both you know what, we have old Lord's Talisman and Classy, and they are in damn near the exact same spot. Just a straight up race here between Dagger and Tony or Dagger and Fitz for the Old Lord's Talisman, and then potentially sets up Classy for later.
Holy crap, you're right.
Because that column 5 could potentially be really threatening for Rick's Fist, right? You have Old Lord's Talisman, then Plassey, and look, Zamora's Curve Sword might be the best weapon in the game for Plassey. Like, unironically, it is that good on him. Oh, and there's the Okina Invader. How did I completely miss that? Like, this mountaintops area is super valuable. This is just a straight up Okina Invader race between these two.
Holy shit. We're going to have a mark here by Tony momentarily. There it is.
Yep, Tony gets the Oathseeker Black Knife set.
So it blocks that row 3. It starts another column for corruption. And I think Zamora is just going to shred Okina, right? As long as he does it at a proper...
Yeah, you got to manage the distance.
Correct. No cursor cast here. Yeah, cursor cast. Listen to me. Cast or curse. We got Tony in the DLC going up, grabbing some skidoo, getting toward High Road Cross.
Oh, and Fitz goes down. Fitz goes down and Dagger marks a square. I don't think the death mattered, but square goes to Dagger. Also gets that little, whatever the hell it is, the Okina mask. Nice little buff there.
It is a nice little buff. Dragon Hunter's great katana, which obviously no one's gonna, go into that now, but got a lot of plays here. A lot of plays left.
And I'm surprised Dagger doesn't go hard for Foot of the Forge. I guess he's looking at tree bosses. But Fitz goes hard for Foot of the Forge. You do not need to kill Fire Giant to get to Farum. You just need to touch the Foot of the Forge Grace.
Correct. Okay, Okina goes back to their world. We now have Farum access.
And Dagger's doing a number on this Erdtree avatar, especially as it splits.
Yep. So I think Dagger wants to make sure he doesn't lose this priority on
he
tree
can
bosses.
hit both of them as they're splitting.
Yep.
I don't know how he didn't get a stagger though.
This is a good play.
Oh my god, but he goes down. And now we're gonna see Fitz here getting the Old Lord Talisman. Dude, that was so
a little bit behind you.
Yeah, Dagger there,
Man.
I think he poise broke it during hyper armor and couldn't get the stance break on the original Erdtree avatar and went down as Fitz guys to the bird section.
Fitz goes down. Yep. So Fitz doesn't do bird skip. So I think this is a good square for Dagger. He doesn't want to lose all the work he did on the Limgrave Weeping, and the square shuts down two of Corruption's 3 current bingo threats.
Yeah,
they have row 1, column 2, and column 3.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that Dagger can't follow through to Old Lords, right? But I do think like Tree Boss is just the most important square on the board right now. Like I think it's really this game becomes really hard to play if you lose Tree Bosses for team for the Rick Fisters, right? They just have to have Tree Bosses. There's no way about it. It's a must-have square. Oh god, Dagger needs to be very careful here.
So while you're commentating on Dagger really quick, I want to make a shout out. Josh here picked up the Rotten Hammer, Rotten Battle Hammer, and he is upgrading it.
Oh god, Dagger's in trouble. Dude, this fight, if you can't kill them quickly, sucks. Especially if you're trying to go fast. Like, I think if you are a, he died. Okay. If you're a patient Pam, it's not too bad, but if you're trying to go fast, this square sucks.
Yes, it does. So Josh upgrades a little bit of Rotten Battlehammer. I didn't see what he got it to. But he's going to go back for Loger with it as opposed to fists.
Yeah,
and
which I think
should be able to wild strike him.
Yep.
And Tony will get Old Lord's Talisman here. He does go the long way. And KC, well said. KC says, "Oh yes, the I don't know bird skip square." That's very funny. But he should get it here. He's obviously not contested. Not that he knows that, but he's obviously not contested. This, God, what is this? Rotten Battlehammer.
Josh goes down again. Yeah, it's clearly not very high level.
Yep. He might need to run through a forge or do Fort of Reprimand to get a little bit more on this. The problem is he doesn't have the money. He could get the 80K in Reprimand.
Okay, and Dagger does get that down, at the exact same time, basically. Did he get the... Bro, it doesn't have enough health. He literally opened the chest and immediately died. Like, just exploded.
Yep, the tip there is you open up the chest and quit out. I actually learned that from Lemon.
I think he has so little health, I don't even know if he would have had time to quit. He just exploded.
Fair enough.
Like, because he doesn't have a ton of health. Like, he just died immediately. And where is Tony going?
Tony, well, Dagger's going to 3-cent duo. Tony is going...
Maybe just got a little lost there. Yeah, Josh is just trying to wild strikes him, but my God, his damage is so bad.
It's very bad.
Spitz does go ahead and get the square.
He does get the square. Very nice.
He dies again, but he had 3,000 runes on him. It doesn't matter.
Oh, he's going for a red bear.
Yeah, Tony's going for red bear. Tony's going for red bear. So let's get the double screen here.
Yes, sir. B-Blade's going to do well on him. They are weaker to fire.
He goes down, but there's a Stake America right there. He went down at the very start. Had a weird approach.
Heavy load.
Yeah, oh, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, he was in his menu getting rid of some armor. He was heavy.
That'll do it. One thing about this Rotten Battlehammer is that it doesn't have crazy range, so your wild strikes are pretty stubby.
Yes. If Josh goes down again, he might have to think about just something else. But what he can't do is hold too long on this. Like, I feel like he's almost pressured into it because of that O-Seeker mark.
Yeah, he can't.
Right. He can't. Like, he's got to do it, yeah?
100%. Because, yeah, I think Tony and I think Team Corruption are looking to do the... looking potentially at that middle column, either that or the bottom row.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Tony's really set up to maybe just solo the bottom row.
I mean, you're not wrong. He's got Radon killed. He could do 4 larval tiers. He could do 4 larval tiers underground after killing Mimic tier, the 2 on the way and the 2 in Mimic tier. And then he's kind of got his pickings, right? He could do 3 pretty quickly in the DLC. He could go kill the bear, which I doubt he runs all the way down toward Darrowil for that bear. Like, like south.
Mm-hmm.
Tony does know the block tech on the Ralva Regalia, which is really good. For anybody who doesn't know, if you can't get out of range, just block. It'll eat your stamina, cause you a little bit of damage.
I mean, it's probably better to, for speed, it's most optimal to just stand close and block because you can get a hit in.
Absolutely it is.
And it really does not do that much damage.
Taker's Flames.
Yeah, I think he has to be a little careful with it because he doesn't have that much health right now. But because the Taker's Flame heals percent based as well, like once he gets more health after this Red Bear kill, he can start just bullying things with Takers.
Yes, man, what a cool match this has been, just in general.
Really nicely done by Tony there.
What I'm liking about this particular game is the wide variety of weapons, how players don't have to, like, this is a perfect thing that I've been trying to explain, like, to a lot, is like you don't have to do the rush DLC. And I just really like it. Look, when's the last time we saw B-Blade in a Veilbreak game, or in a 2v2 game?
Very rarely, do you get to see B-Blade. Yeah, because remembrance weapons are locked behind remembrances, so it's niche situations where you get to see B-Blade or Godfrey's axe, or
you're probably
any
already
of those.
going to have another weapon lined up. So,
like, normally the only time you see it, and this was the same case, where it's like, I have a weapon, but this is a very worthwhile upgrade, right?
Yep. Tony here going to get a Visage. So he has watched, listened, been in chat with me and Shura doing the pot tech, either the 1 pot to the gravesite plane furnace golem, or the 3 to the back section one. I'd like to see him, he's got some talismans good. I'd like to see him, like,
dude, Tony's feeling himself. He's played well all day and just waving to chat here as he goes into the Golden Hippo. Also, Fitz here working on the Crucible tallies.
Yep, we got Fitz working on those. We got Josh getting stones and reprimand also with the 80k, which is good. I think that Loger.
Dagger, I think this is Dagger's final tree boss, or fifth or final. Let's go with Tony here for the Hippo, though.
Yeah, it'll be final because he's got tree scent duo. Hang on, did he kill the?
No, it's final because he had 3 and did. Final. Yeah.
Correct. Yep. I think those 2 marks there are for sure giving some breathing room to Rick's fists.
Yep. Also, if you're enjoying the match, you want to be a part of the bingo community, you can join Ignite. It's pinned in the description, or pinned in the chat. This is the community where we host this event. So whether you want to get into bingo, rando, any aspect of competitive Elden Ring, or just stay up to date in actually get to meet the players in the community and hang out with people, we'd love to see you in Ignite.
We got a lot of things planned ahead, a lot of things going on. Nightmare Seed is still cooking. Nightmare Seed 2 is in the works. I mean, it'll take a bit, understandably. Rando Derby coming back. Like, we don't have to explain all those today. But
yeah, we got a bunch of stuff. We always have a bunch of stuff going on. Yeah, but that is actually one of the things that's pretty cool, right? Like, you can players are in calls hanging out and stuff. Like, obviously, don't be disrespectful, right? Because players are playing and practicing, but like, you can follow the players along with all their practice games, like talk with them, chat with them, like let them know how they're feeling. Like, just be a part of the community. You don't have to be a ultra sweaty player to be a part of the community beyond just the broadcast.
Yep, that's right. And as Jamie said, we definitely do bake a lot of French fries in the microwave. So,
and come on in. We're gonna go to the 4 big because we have Tony. Never mind, Tony just went down. So pause that. No more 4 big. And Fitz goes down too. So never mind. There's only 1 big screen, and it's Dagger as he goes for Theo with this the more curved sword.
This is wild. This has been such a cool match. Like, I just love that not every, I mean, of course, not every game is the same, Jay, because it's bingo. But I just love how different this game is. Like, this game is, for whatever reason, just so much different than a lot of what we've seen, right? Like,
yeah.
Look at my game yesterday. Starfist and Great Stars.
All right,
what more could you ask for?
We have 3 players back in the fights now, so we will go to the 4-player big screen. Hopefully no one immediately dies. You know, this Simor's Curve Sword is not doing as much work as I thought it would, to be honest. I guess Theo's just that dude.
It's Theo. Stagger. There's the damage.
Yeah. Now that's a lot of damage.
Yes, yes, yes. Fitz gets DTS down going into Capital.
Yep, so now it's just Dagger and Tony here working on Hippo and Theo.
So if you have a minute, who's
Tony goes down again though, but Dagger's gonna be able.
No.
I think Dagger's so close to finishing this out. And there we go, very nicely done by Dagger. Takes the Magma Worm and Theo.
Nice.
And actually, you know what? I mean, Tony and Fitz have been kind of a step ahead all game here. But now we're in. We look at the board and we have a tie ball game.
Yeah, we got it. We got a tie ball game. We got like Crucible Talismans on the way, which is the question I was going to ask you. For anybody in chat who you know, may only know where a couple of Crucible Talismans in, and I'll start it off. There are two in Ancient Rao and DLC. There's one by killing the Omen Killer in Liurnia, and there's one in the Crucible Knight Duo Hero's Grave. Where is Fitz going for that third, or for that final Crucible Talisman?
You tell the audience, Jay. I don't know. Well, I don't know where the other one is in base game. I need you.
I set him up. Oh no. Oh, that's just too funny. So the Talisman of the All Crucibles is in the Ancient Ruins. Following the elevator, obviously. The Fine Crucible is also in there as well in Ancient Ruins of Rao. You have the Crucible Not Talisman, and that's the one in the Omen Killer. You have the Crucible Feather Talisman. Sometimes I mix these up, but the Crucible Feather Talisman is the one in the Hero's Grave with the Crucible Knight Duo. And then the Crucible Scale Talisman is in Altus Plateau in Lendale Catacombs underneath in Subterranean Grounds is where he's going. I set him up for that one, and
you threw me a lob there, and I tore my ACL on the takeoff.
So he's just going to Lendale Catacombs for anybody who wants to know in Subterranean.
Yeah, I've kind of always just, I know you can't do it in base game, but I had no idea. To be honest, I had no idea what they were on the Crucible Not. Well, I'll be better next week. There's also some improvements I want to make to the broadcast and stuff. Making an excuse for myself, I was bedridden for Tuesday through Friday, so I was terribly behind.
And Hippo goes down.
Doing some preparations for this week, but Hippo goes down, and Dagger gets down Godric there.
I think we see a Crucible snipe here, though. I think Josh will get... he's going to grab Romina's Grace and then go get the other Crucible Talisman.
Yeah, and you know, Romina's on the board here.
Right. Right, if you grab Romina's Grace, and then from Romina's Grace, if you're looking at her fog gate and you look left, you can just jump on the top roof of the hut. And then you could just go down towards Deathblight Dancing Lion and grab that Crucible. For anybody who doesn't know, I have seen a lot of players go around. I'll try to remember to say it if I don't miss it.
Is this Josh's first or second Crucible Talisman, though?
Should be second, I believe.
Is this, how close is this between Josh and Fitz?
I believe. Somebody in chat is more than welcome to correct me.
Where in this catacomb is the Crucible Talisman? Because Fitz already has one as well.
Yeah, it's not very far at all. It's not close, Wanderer's saying. Okay. For anybody who is curious, in case Josh does get there, I've seen a lot of players go around where Josh is going right now. You can jump in the hole from the front side. So we'll see if Josh knows how to do it. And it looks like he does.
Wait, Josh is
Nope, he doesn't.
Josh is having some issues here. How close? Any chance Fitz can snipe this? No, he
Tony
cannot.
4 bears. And Josh will...
Wait. Red team, hold up. Red team.
Yeah, Tony gets 4 bears.
Oh, wait, that's 4 bears. That's 4 bears. I was.
So Josh only has 1.
Josh only had. Wait, so Tony. Fitz will get this. Fitz will get this.
Fitz
Yeah,
got it?
Fitz got it. Fitz has it. Oh my. Okay, that's huge.
Okay. Wait a minute. So let me back up. So for anybody who's curious, you can do a jump from the rocks on the right side into the square to get that Crucible Talisman that Josh got by the Deathblight Dancing Lion. I thought Josh grabbed the first one.
No, he didn't.
Son of a gun. Okay.
And Tony now is going for the Tony now is going for Revenants. That's a huge swing because I was thinking it's going to be 8-8, right? Like 9-7 versus 8-8 is a big difference. Like Tony goes down there, but that's a huge difference at this point in the game. Also, guys, if you're enjoying the action, make sure to stick along with us. We have 2 more games coming up after this. We'll be switching gears from the Crucible to the Golden Order as we have the Crash in Sirius versus Wander in Strump. Both those teams playing their first game, as well as Helios and Ellie versus Iron and Typin directly after that. So more Golden Order Week 1 action will continue right after this. Yep. And unfortunately, though, we'll have to say goodbye to Jay, and we will welcome in Sci-Fi as the co-commentator for those games.
Yep, Sci-Fi one of the greatest to play. A huge help in the mod. Well, obviously the modder of this, and a great friend of mine. My prom date and the Omen Veil champion. I now no longer stand alone as a Scadu Bingo champion. That game is going to be extremely good against Vakrosh and Sirius. Ellie and Helios, just a great synergy team. They did really well in the Rando tournament. Just absolutely 2 fantastic players going against 2 speedrunners.
Look, Iron and Typin are multifaceted, right? Like they are they're both top 30 speedrunners in the world, and they both are incredibly accomplished in the Deathless Randomizer League. I forget which one, but one of them was the #1 overall seed after the regular season, but they bowed out early in the knockouts. However, the other player made it to the semifinals of the event. Actually, beat out both Lil Aggie and Gustav Gabriel head to head in the knockout rounds.
Yep. And they played in both weeks of your test veil break.
They played in both weeks of the test veil break. Did incredibly well. Made it to the finals in one of the weekends, right? We're excited to see what they can do because they're an incredibly probably the most unknown team of the Golden Order because they have been doing a majority of the practice among themselves, but a very, very talented one. And we have Josh going in here for Romina, Saint of the Bud.
Yep, and we got a good Revenant mark by Corruption. That's 3 squares in a row for them, which followed up 3 squares from Rick's Fist earlier. But we've got Romina. We have Dagger working on Larval Tears. This will be his 4th. We got Fitz going to Radon. We still got Bingo.
If they bingo at this point, it's game over, right? They'd actually finish with 14 points. I don't think the bingo's going to happen though, because Dagger will be getting Larval Tears. I don't think that Fitz or Tony could stop Dagger on Larval Tears. And Josh Good is obviously way ahead on Romina, but Tony has the fire damage, and Romina's a very difficult fight. It's not over till it's over, right?
Right. Nope, I'm with you. I don't foresee Josh having too much trouble here. His health bar is a little low from the hour and 13 minutes in this game. But also, that's nothing against him. He has gone through 2 upgraded weapons, maybe not fully, but he's still upgraded 2 weapons.
Yeah. And one other thing, kind of a difference here, I've noticed Tony's done a really good job of putting himself like in a position to succeed. And I want to give him massive credit for that. Like, making sure to get his defensive talismans, like he has some extra juice on his flasks because he, routed his flasks earlier, right? We've been seeing Josh kind of getting chipped down in a lot of these fights throughout the course of the game. Well, Tony has not had the same problem because he did pick up an extra couple sacred tears early on, so he has higher level flasks. Not only that, but that's compounded by the fact that he has the Crimson Seed talisman to boost his flasks an additional 30%, I believe, 25, 20, 25, 30%. Yeah, like it's really smart heads up play here by Tony. I mean, outside of that hippo, Tony's played a damn near perfect game. Like, I think as good as he was in Rookie Rumble, it's hard to say the best game I've ever seen him play because I've seen him play some amazing games, but considering how hard this format is, I think the most impressive game I've ever seen Tony play for sure. As Dagger does get those 7 larval tears as expected, so the column 5 or row 5 does get shut down. Technically, Rick's Fist still actually, you know what? Rick's Fist still could bingo here on the column 4, and that would win the game. Rick's technically, both teams only need 3 squares to win. Obviously, Corruption needs any 3 squares. And then Rick's Fist just needs to get those 3 squares on the column 4, and that would be game over. Could we see a Melania race to end this game?
Yup, we could, because Dagger's going for Furnace Golem.
Wow. But Josh, 1 hit from dead and no heals. Again, just gotten chipped down, and Tony's now on his ass with a much better weapon for Romina. She's very weak to fire.
Oh my God. Anybody who's watching me commentate in previous matches over the, months and months and months of being with Who's, when I really get excited about something, I tend to repeat it a lot. And the one thing I will say is if you are liking this action, you want to stay a part of the community, do it yourself, learn, you think this is fun, competitive, even just like we just do pickup games all the time in the Discord, and it doesn't have to be crazy competitiveness. You gotta come to Ignite. Like,
and we have coaches. Also, to do some self promo, you could drop a follow to keep up to date with all the Elden Squares action. Because we'll be doing this for 8 weeks straight.
Plus Josh goes down.
But Josh goes down, and now Tony is in the driver's seat on Romina. But yeah, drop me a follow. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm getting close to 1,000. We'll do something cool when I get to 1,000.
Close to 1,000. Nice. Shout out to Jay for the gift sub to his wife so she didn't have to see ads while she was watching the stream.
Thank you for the gift sub.
I'm just giving you a hard time. But we gotta, you're right. I sometimes I forget that Romina is weak to fire, even with all my incredible DLC experience. Legitimately being an expert in this area of the game. I just don't ever usually fight her with fire. So that's like a really good mention.
B-Blade's really good against her.
Yeah.
There was one point I was going to make a YouTube video. I didn't end up making it, where I used Boss Arena to set up a gauntlet to test, I was going to do a weapon test, what's better, Darkmoon Greatsword or Blasphemous Blade? And I did a bunch of Remembrance only speed runs with Boss Arena. And I was impressed by how good Blasphemous Blade was on a lot of bosses.
Blasphemous Blade and Rusted Anchor were my 2 weapons who's in my first playthroughs.
Yeah, Blasphemous Blade is an amazing weapon. Because I think when I went into doing that, my initial thought was B-Blade's a good weapon for newer players because it heals you and stuff. But you can do so much, even if you are a player who you can dodge everything, it's a little weird because you have to get used to getting hit, but you can do so much cool tech with takers.
Yes.
And both players are in phase 2. Romina actually does damage to herself with the butterflies there. Josh gets the stagger. This is very close.
Yeah, I'm like literally locked in. I have no idea what Dagger and Fitz are doing because I'm just not watching.
Yeah, same.
Thank you, refs.
It's gonna come down to stall moves plus RNG and just execution here. Gotta feel for Fitz a little bit because my God, if he had this caliber, his first fight was not the best. He's been doing work here on the second fight.
Yep.
Team Rick's Fist really needs this in order to stay in the game here. But Tony gets the snipe.
Nice. Who's, was really like, shout out to you for mentioning the setup and whatnot. When Tony would go down in health, one flask, full health.
Yeah, that was the biggest difference, right? Like, because Josh, like he fought it well, but it's a very long fight, right? In Veilbreak, you don't have a crazy amount of damage, or in this format, you don't have a crazy amount of damage, so the fights end up being longer, right? And we were just seeing Josh get slowly chipped down over time, right? And Tony with the slightly upgraded slightly better flask plus the Crimson Seed just did not have the same problem. And honestly, I think that's been the biggest difference here between Tony or one of the biggest differences here between Tony and Josh. Just real heads up, like savvy, experienced play from Tony here.
I mean, Josh, well done on that kill. You don't die on the first one, brother, and that's where
that second kill from Josh was beautiful. Because I think it's something that doesn't get talked about as much, especially because like I know a lot of the discourse when we're talking in the Discord, right, is about like a scenario, right, like most optimal, blah 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 blah, and picking up extra sacred tears and stuff is never going to be in the most optimal if you are perfect, right? But I think it's such a good play, especially because like when you get under pressure, you don't play your best. It's just human nature, right? In having that margin for error, like as it was, the extra scadu and stuff was really valuable for NVCC last game. The extra heals have been very valuable for Jur or for Tony. I mean, hell, the slightly safer approach in your game yesterday could have won you the game, if not for Shura theory crafting the most brilliant line. Like I think, like 9 times out of 10, I think if you're playing anyone else, you win that game, right? You got Shura, right? And he's the reigning defending Elden Bingo Lord for a reason.
Yep. So we see, Tony did the Spirit Spring after the Furnace Golem up to the Invisible Bridge for the Stone Sheath Sword. Now he's going to go towards, he's actually going to do this square in the Fogriff Catacombs, and it might be a knowledge check. He has, let me make sure I got the right person. Yeah, Tony has Hippo dead. So he would just, the better and faster way to do it is to run through the front after killing Hippo into Shadowkeep, dropping down toward the castle watering hole and get your Sword of Light there.
Yep.
So it could be a knowledge check, especially because Death Knight's not on the board.
Yeah, I'm sure that's something that you can clean up right in between weeks. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the one thing that is beautiful about commentary, and I know like I'm not just glazing myself. I genuinely know the players appreciate it, right? Because our community is so good at saying like, "Hey, man, like you did this right. Like you could have done it a little bit better." And not only is everyone so good about freely giving advice, but people are really good about taking advice and improving. That is so crucial to how we've built such a talented bingo community.
I agree.
Everyone giving and taking advice and trying to get better and not being defensive when someone says like, hey man, like you messed this up, you could have done it better, but also being just giving of that advice.
Yep. So we see Josh going down here for the castle watering hole. I believe this is his first, but then again, I've been so enthralled with other things that I've probably missed. We got Fitz going for Godskin Apostle and Kaled.
No,
and
Dagger! Dagger was gonna do the hefty furnace pot to kill and missed. That would have been so cool, dude. Did you see what he did?
I did.
That would have been
Whipped
so
it right
cool.
through on the right side.
Yeah.
Yep. That is the tech.
That would have been
He'll
absolutely
still get it down,
beautiful.
Yeah, that's exactly what I played a game with Ellie against Lemon and Cronies the other night. And it was a very close game, and we lost the game because I did the same thing, Who's.
That's brutal, man.
So as my furnace golem was dying, Lemon killed it and got the square.
Oh.
Other than that, it was game over. So that's why Lemon writes, Jay cannot comment. But we're going to see... I don't know if this is Josh's. I think this is Josh's first. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so Dagger gets this. Now Fitz is working on the
Godskin Apostle.
Mm-hmm. And then Tony is going for Tony and Josh are racing for Sword of Light and Dark at the current moment.
And Tony's got to get on the bar there to pivot pop down, and Josh is right on his heels.
Yeah, this is gonna be a really close race between these two.
Like super close.
And Dagger is just in a brawl with this furnace golem because he ran out of FP, so he has to actually use the moveset of Zamor.
These imps are gonna lose in the square. Yep, that'll do it.
Oh my god. Wait.
No, we're gonna see Josh get the square.
Yeah, I think Josh is gonna get him. Dagger gets the furnace golem down, and Josh gets the square. Yeah, Tony got screwed by the imps. 11-10. This game's not over. I thought it was. Dude, it looked. The game looked to be in dire straits when it came down to the. When it came down to Romina, but back-to-back squares for Rick's Fist. This is now very much still a game. Obviously, Fitz is going for the Apostle, and Dagger is going for the Sword Master. Assuming
Fitz is having a little trouble here.
Fitz dies, but assuming no issues. Well, I mean, assuming they both get that, like, unless Team Corruption gets both the Apostle and the Sword Master, this game is going to come down to Plasty and Melania.
I was just about to comment on that, Nardi. No joke. I said what we're going to have here is Dagger's going to go for Onze in hopes to tie it up. We need Fitz to lock in with Apostle in order to
Fitz does not know how to do this. Fitz does not know how to do the drops.
We're going to have a 12-11.
Melania.
Right. We're going to have a 12-11 if Fitz can get down there and kill Godskin Apostle. And then what it's going to come down to
Josh is going for Melania now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tony's actually going for Plasty. I'm kind of surprised Tony's not going for Melania. Maybe just doesn't feel feels more confident on Plasty. Like at this point, like screw optimal. You just got to do what you know you can do, right? I will say, there are some very slight differences between the Golden Order and the Crucible swear sets. Melania and Plasty were 2 squares. I was like, hey guys, are we sure we want these? Because they're very difficult fights, obviously. And they wanted them. It was pretty much unanimous. So game's going to come down to it.
He's going to die again.
Yeah, this is unfortunate for Fitz because he played really well. You have to know the entirety of Elden Ring to play this format, right? It's unfortunate that one little knowledge gap is getting highlighted here in such a crucial, such a pivotal moment, but it is what it is.
Almighty. Yep, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Lion, while these guys are running to these squares, I'll give you a quick recap. NBCC and Jurs did pull out the victory against Stakes and Champa. A lot to learn on both sides, a lot to improve on, and I think Stakes and Champa have a great contention to be in the playoffs for their division. It was a good game. And then we're seeing right now a game. Like, we're talking about non-DLC rush, both DLC players getting Altus, multiple remembrances. We have a remembrance weapon being used as a main weapon. We're seeing Zamor. We have players in DLC. We got Melania on the board. We got Plassey. We got Godskin Apostle. Like, you have come in at a great time, and there's still 30 minutes of this match left, possibly.
Yeah, this is going to be a crazy end game.
Oh man, what a game we have here. So as we see, we have Tony, who's going to be on the top left of Who's Your Screen. He is going for Plassey. They need 2 squares. If Tony can get Plassey and Fitz can make his way down to Apostle, which he's having a little bit of trouble with, to actually get that square, that would be game. But we also have Dagger, who is on your bottom right. He is going toward Onze, which is one of the 2 demi-human swords master. He should put light work into Onze. Onze can be a pain in the ass. He's actually, in my opinion, he's actually worse in Rando than he is in Bingo. He's not that bad in here. He's still a shithead, right? And then in the top right, what it appears that we're seeing here is maybe a double prep of sorts. Yeah, Onze just literally gets deleted with Zamor. See what I mean? So it's 11-11. Dagger has to make the decision of where he wants to go to, and the 2 squares who's right. If he goes for, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yep.
Fuck, I muted myself accidentally. Huge fight here for Melania on the Apostle. Thank you, Nartok.
Yes. And we're doing a sleep pot tech, which, listen, I don't hate. Do what you got to do bar cheating, to win squares and kill bosses. This, in my opinion, is just pure efficiency. If he wants to do it, look at this. This is good. This will be a if he can get Apostle down, this is going to be a 12-11 game, and I'll say it, the game is not over.
And Josh just got golden parry. Is Josh gonna parry Melania? I mean, it's actually decent.
Get out! Get out! Oh!
He's out of heals. And dies.
No.
But now Tony's in on Dragon Lord Plassey. Tony's in on Plassey right now.
This is where I wish I'm all right. That's it. From this day forward, I'm saving 25 cents a day out of every day that I work. I'm buying a standing desk because I need to stand.
Dude, I need it too.
It is fucking bingo season. Dagger's gonna need some help though, right? Like a death.
Yeah. I mean, his weapon should be much better though than Tony's.
Okay, I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't, I remember specifically we did, granted this was a rando, so much different scaling, but we did a seed run, which is a set seed speed run randomizer, and you had to kill Plassey and you were able to fully script him with some more. Granted it was Loretta scaling, but like it's sure. Very good. And I think Dagger might be double prepping, maybe going Apostle. And Tony's in okay, we're in on Melania as well. We're just gonna we're probably gonna go to the 4 big screen for the rest of this game. If a boss gets killed, a square is marked. That's the deal. If a boss gets killed, a square is marked.
I mean, I'm just gonna watch. Like, I don't know what else to say here. What as far as commentary, other than join fucking Ignite and let's play bingo.
Dude, I can't believe I'm seeing parry strats on Melania. What? Yeah, Dagger's gonna go take Apostle. If Fitz doesn't clean this up.
Yes. Cronies, as a non-parry player in this game, other than like Rolana, Noble, like, because you know Rolana parries is a square mine. What happened to Golden parry? Because I'm just not a parrier, like, except for Sekiro, like I said, Noble, and oof. Less parry frames. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, yeah, I'm not a big parry injurer. Like, I obviously, when there's literally squares, kill a remembrance boss after 6 parries, right? I know how to parry Sekiro, but yeah, I've never really had the. Is this a common thing for Melania? I don't know if I've ever seen this before.
No, I've done it before. I do Melania a lot. There's a reason why I've brought my enthusiast.
Right. Apostle goes down.
I've parried Melania. Okay, Apostle goes down. That's huge. That's freaking huge for corruption. Making it 12. So Tony now just needs to close out this Plasty and they win.
I am sweating. Golden Pair is arguably bad now, TBH, comparing to other options. Awesome. Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're gonna go big screen. We're going big screen with Tony, because if Tony closes this out, they win. This is game on the line.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I know we have Melania on the screen, but there's this is game on the line. Game's over. And I think this will be such a huge win for either of these teams. Like, what a fucking confidence boost to start off the season with a win in such a crazy game.
Agreed. And I hope they watch back and hear, like, like you mentioned earlier, the criticism.
Lasers is about to come out. Tony's he's just playing it safe and running like hell. But he didn't run. Why'd he go in? Okay, he's good. Down to 2 heals though. He should have just kept running. Dagger's now about to enter the Plasty fight.
I'm just watching. If you don't hear me, chat, I'm literally just watching this.
Yeah, Dagger goes ahead and lays down. We're gonna stay big screen with Tony. If this fight gets close, or especially if it gets close, if somehow Dagger can close the difference, or especially if somehow Tony dies. Tony only has 2 flasks left. Only 1 left. Dude, I talked about how Tony's been winning the war of attrition all game, and it might come to... Oh my God. Tony's has to heal, and once he heals, he's out. Tony gets the stagger! That'll do it! Tony comes in clutch in a 13-11 win for corruption!
Man, I'm not even mad that I lost Corn. I'm not even mad that I lost Corn.
What a game! Congratulations to all players.
What a game!
What a game! Oh my! Oh.
Holy Moses!
All right.
Rambler says 0-2 on my picks. I'll never do them again.
Okay, we need. I will let you guys know. We need to turn over. I'm gonna bring the players in very quickly for a post-match interview.
Yes.
But then we gotta get turned over.
Yes, sir.
What that was?
Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in.
Good
Fucking
game,
hell of a
guys.
game.
Oh my fucking god.
You know, look. So I'll be straight up. We gotta turn it over real quick because we got another game that's supposed to start here.
Of course.
But I'll just, you know, give a minute or two to each of the teams. We'll start with Tony and Fitz here. Just how are you feeling right now? Holy hell!
Blasphemous Blade is the best remembrance weapon of all time. I can't believe I ran that shit and it actually worked. Holy fuck, dude.
I used to know the skip for the God's Gonna Apostle, and I was so stressed out because I kept fucking missing it. Then it just clicked.
Gotcha.
It was like, all right, I dropped down in here, and then, oh my god.
Dude,
A good game, guys. Holy shit. I
Sword
did.
of Light was such a snipe. I'd spent
What
way
was?
too long in the catacomb. Sword of Light.
Ah,
I was right there, dude.
You went to the catacomb?
Yeah.
Well, you sniped that. There were snipes back and forth. It was a crazy game. Like, oh my god.
You sniped me on Akina by like seconds. I died.
oh my god. That explains why you got Old Lord Talisman. I didn't think you were going for it because you got invaders.
I was already there because I figured that just because you got Okina, you'd probably sit on a Lord Talisman for a bit. So I went
Yeah,
for that.
I figured because you got invaders without Okina, that I wasn't expecting you to go for Old Lords. I figured you didn't even push that direction.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to get too
say before
cheeky
you guys.
with it.
I just want to say before you guys head out of here, because I know we do got to do a quick turn. But I want to say that was absolutely fucking exciting. I hope you guys watch it back. I hope you guys see a couple of the minor routing and things that you can clean up, and both you guys are just going to be nuts throughout the rest of the season because that was fucking awesome. I'll just say right now that was the best game I've seen and or commentated like so far this season by far.
I appreciate
Fucking
it.
awesome.
I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me, brother.
That was a crazy game.
Can
Great
I just
job
ask-
by both of you.
Can I just ask, what was the biggest turning point in the game that from an outside perspective?
I think the Romina snipe at the end really changed things because you guys could have the column could have been a threat, right? Like the Romina snipe, like it was, you know, that you could point to a lot of moments, but like in the end game, it felt like the Romina snipe was the biggest moment.
Gotcha.
Granted, like I thought it was over at that point. You guys were obviously able to pull it back, and we still had a crazy end of the game. But the Romina snipe felt like the biggest moment.
Gotcha. Okay.
GG's, guys. Thanks for having me, man. What a fucking game.
Yeah,
Beautiful
you guys
game.
can move down to Pink Pony Club and obviously talk about the game and stuff. I hate to kick you out so quickly, but we got to get this thing turned around.
Understand. Thank you.
Of course, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for playing though. Holy hell, one amazing game, but guys. All right, chat everyone. We're gonna take a short break. We're gonna get turned over. Jay, thank you so much for joining me for these two games. We'll be joined by Sci-Fi, and we'll see you guys all in just a sec. See you soon.
Thanks, Suze.
Hello everyone, Nauri reporting in from the land down under, here to bring you my analysis of this upcoming exciting match between Barkrash and